Okay, guys, just give me a minute here as I set up. Okay, guys, just give me a minute here. Okay, so let's actually begin. So over here, as always, this is the LUNC USDT trading chart. Now, this is the one-day chart. The reason why I bring it up and what I've been talking about for quite some time now. In fact, this dates back all the way to the beginning, guys. Look at this. So this, what date is this? I wonder if I can find out. So I can't see the exact date here, but this predated, I believe, our staking when staking first opened up. This became the high probably around September 22nd or so, and that's currently where we've come down. This is where our wedge has been. So this wedge is a long standing wedge. And here's the thing, if you guys can tell, it is coming to an end. Alhamdulillah. So let's see how that's developing. So first, let's zoom in and see how far away are we to the end of the wedge. And also, just explain why we had to fall. So sorry about that. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. By the way, the current price right now is where is it? Is at 16321. I actually said about 24 hours ago that we'd be staying between 161 to 163 in the next 24 hours. So that's exactly what's happening. That's what we're seeing right now, right? So why did I know for a fact that, because this was when we were going down, mind you, we were dropping at the time. So why did I know for a fact that we were going to start having this momentum of like coming back up? Well, the simple reason for that, let's just zoom in a little bit more so I can show you. The simple reason for that was that on the 8 hour, actually, this is the one day. Let me show you the 8 hour here. So 8 hour, flip over, full screen it up so you guys can see. Okay. So about 24 hours ago, or roughly 2 candles ago. So over here, ooh, this looks really bad. Let's just zoom out a little more. Yeah, there we go. So here it was. So this is about 24 hours ago, this candle. As you can see here, we had already breached this bottom band of support. When you breach the bottom band of support, you usually have one more candle that enters into the lower part, but then bounces back up. So if I knew for a fact that this one candle had a high of 16921 and a low of 157,758, then its retracement would have to be 0.68 of this, right? So that would mean that we would need to now move between the 161 to the 163 range, which is exactly what is currently happening. We're at 16328, which is perfect to see. That being said, have a look at this. See, if we were where we were even just 2 days ago, we would have hit this upper wedge by now. And the thing is, it's too soon for that to happen. Why? Because momentum wasn't there yet. So if you can see here, this is on the MACD at the bottom here. If you can see here, we were actually starting to head negative. So if we knew we were starting to head negative, then we wouldn't have the momentum to break through this wedge. So it didn't make a whole lot of sense for us to hit that wedge right now. And instead, what made more sense was for us to come down and then find our way through here. So if you look here, this is the bottom band of the wedge, right? So this bottom band sits at here it is right now. It sits at 15044. This is the main reason why I've been saying for quite some time now that we're gonna have to come down. One, because our MACD, because our indicators are supporting a negative momentum, and two, because we don't have the momentum yet just to hit this upper band of support. If we hit this upper band of support right now, we will fall and it will hurt a whole lot. In fact, there's a chance we may break down. We don't want to see that. Instead, what we actually want to see right now is this negative momentum ride out. We want to see a ride out for the next couple candles. So just going off of here, let's create a scale and see how many candles on the 8 hour will it take to reach the wall. By the way, the more that we do this, the more we'll know closer to when it's going to break or when the latest break can possibly occur. So let's look at this one, click here. spread it across. As you can see here at our current price point. So this indicates at our current price point, right? So at our current price point, it would take about 9 bars, meaning it would take about 9 times 8. I don't know, like 72 hours. 24, 40. Yeah, about 3 days. Exactly 3 days at our current price point would we hit the upper wedge. Now, are we ready to hit that wedge? That's the real question we need to keep asking ourselves. Are we ready to do this, right? So at the moment, I would say no. And you must be asking why. Well, we'll go into that in a second. But first, let's look over here and see when the final. So over here, this is the last point possible. It's at 15266. That's probably not going to change. But that's in about 18 bars. So roughly 6 days, give or take. So as you can see here, we only have 6 days left until everything comes to an end. And what we want to see when we come to this point is we want to see us, first let's flip this. We want to see us hit this bottom wedge as we approach this point. Why? Because this bottom top wedge is the absolute points. So when you hit the bottom wedge, you're gonna have a bounce. When you hit that top wedge, you're gonna have a bounce. And unless you have enough momentum, you're gonna either fall through or push up. So in our case, our negative momentum, we can see it here. This is 8 hour, by the way. Our negative momentum is already slowing down, right? So from here, it was at negative 197. It's currently at negative 87, and currently at negative 77. So it's already slowing down. It's not exactly what we want to see, but it's okay because this is probably going to flip negative once the weekly candle closes, which, very important actually, we need to talk about the weekly. So this is a weekly we've been talking about for months now. Now this weekly has come a long way from where it's begun, as I'm sure a lot of you guys might remember. It's been a long time since then. Damn. Just looking back, I've been covering LUNC for maybe 3,600 tweets now, over 250 videos. It's been a long journey. And I know some may say, oh, not really, but for me, it's felt like that. I think for a lot of us, it's felt like, oh, this is quite taxing on all of us, right? So that being said, this is the weekly. And the reason why I want to talk about the weekly, now I can just zoom in just to show you guys. Let's keep going with this. I don't like how the MACD looks here for some reason. There we go. Okay. Yep, so we can see this, we can see this. So, as you can see here, let's get into the scale going. Where's my scale? I wish I could kind of just pull it up, but I don't see it. Okay, let's open it up again. So let's hit scale. Let's full screen this. So here we are, right? And in about 40 minutes, we're gonna arrive at the next candle. So let's just go ahead and have a look. So as you can see here, it goes without saying, really. But this wedge, we're looking to hit it, right? We're genuinely looking to hit it, and we're looking to hit it very, very soon. It's not even like this is down the road. This is no, it's none of that. So at our current price point, let's even just go from the bottom of it across. So it's showing a chance of hitting it in about 2 weeks. I don't believe that to be the case because look at what it would need to be for it to hit it in 2 weeks. Let's just look at that 15675. So it's slightly different from the daily, which is interesting in itself to see. But keep in mind, and this wedge, I need to fix it on the weekly. So the wedge on the weekly actually isn't as accurate because you can see here, it's actually starting from this point going upward. That doesn't align up with this line either. So the weekly isn't the best wedge to look at, but the main reason why I wanted to show you the weekly was because of this. Look at the MACD. So this bottomed out when we saw that 0.0012. That was when things were starting to get a little rough, right? And since then, our negative momentum has started to flip positive. As you can see here, we went from negative 1194 to negative 967 to negative 801 to negative 610. But do you see what's going on here? So 1194 to 967. What is that? Roughly 227 points, give or take. But then, here, 227. This was about 165, yeah? Then that was 185 or so. Then this was 150 or so, 153. And here's the problem. We're at 485, 497, 485. So if you haven't been able to guess it, we're about to flip negative on the weekly. When you flip negative on a weekly, it dictates a whole lot. So this also tells us this next upcoming week, we're gonna have to head downward. So everything, and okay, now we can finally move over to the daily. So we've already established one, the weekly is pointing towards a negative shift, yes? So let's look at how the daily is looking. Now the daily wedge is actually more accurate as well, but I just want to show you what the MACD is showing on the daily. Let's expand this a little bit more. Here we are. Okay, so we are currently looking at the daily on LUNC MACD as well as just the candle of it. So first, let's look at the wedge once more. To get a bare minimum, an immediate point of when we're gonna run. Let's just look at this. So from here to that wall, what's that looking like? About 3 bars, right? So from our current price point, it would take about, and mind you, the next bar starts in 27 minutes, so actually about 2 days. So we have 2 days if we stay at our current price point. But what's the likelihood of that? Not very likely. Why is that? Because look what's going on. The daily support that negative weekly momentum. So if you have two things, so over here, negative 65, negative 78, negative 96. So if you have two, now we have two. So you have two of the biggest candles both supporting a negative momentum, you know we're going to come down. You know for the upcoming week, we're headed downward. Now, how did these change? How did these things change? Well, we're seeing that already in the 8 hour, right? How, like, if we know we're going to come down, what's the point? How do we know we're going to break? Well, that's what happened, and that's what's happening with the 8 hour. So see, when you come downward and you find your support, just zoom in so much more so you can see that. For whoever can see this blue line, that's our support line, right? When you find that support, you bounce, and you bounce hard. This is up 2.2% in 8 hours. That is huge. And if that's 2.2% on an 8 hour candle, can you imagine? Can you imagine the increase on a daily candle? So if we just go by bare straight numbers here, 2.2% on an 8 hour candle, then on a daily candle, which is 3 times that, you should see a minimum of 6% bounce, right? So over here, this is our current bottom wedge of support. And look at it, look how it's coming down. It's starting to trend in line with our wedge. And we're probably going to see this get closer and closer to the wedge too, by the way. So it's currently at 15231, I believe. If I'm reading this right. So 15231. Meaning, in the next couple days, as it aligns itself, it's going to come down to this lower wedge of 1511, 1516, whatever it is. But the moment we hit this on a daily, we're going to bounce. And inshallah, we're going to have the momentum, because here's what we want to see happen. 1, we want to see this come down. 2, we want to see it slow down by the time it hits this daily. So by the time it hits this support line, if it slows down, then that inverse, we're just going to shoot straight up. So some pretty exciting stuff, I gotta admit. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll be here for a little bit. So the 30-minute did just close. I'm kind of curious to see how that is developing along. Really kind of just get a feel of, are we still heading in this positive momentum that we've started pushing to? As you see, we're at 16328, 16320. So just zoom in a little bit, yeah? Why not? We still have time. So a little bit more. Okay. Nope, a little more. There we go. So yeah, now we can start to see when that positive momentum started to begin. Why? Because as you can see here, look, this happens every single time. There's no argument about what how trends work, right? Well, here's the lower band of support. We broke through. We had one candle that saw a little further down and then bounced back up, and then it starts this upward momentum trend. Now, of course, once that upward momentum trend begins, look at what happens. We approach this upper band of support. And as we're approaching it, something else also occurs, right? If we don't have the momentum, we're not going to break through. So look over here. So this, I think this just started. Can I see if, yeah, it just started. So this one was 2 minutes ago. This is a 30-minute candle, by the way. So over here, we can see very, very clearly 30, or no, let's go back. So this is probably 3 hours ago. 3 hours ago, our momentum was pushing up. We were at 2-1, then 2-7 on the 6 points up, 3-1, 4 points up, 3-4, 3 points up, 3-3, 1 point down, 3-2, so 3-3, so about 1 point, negligible really. And then, of course, 3-2, 3-2, kind of just been staying sideways. And then 3-6. Now you can see we're having a bit of a run again. 4 points up, 3-9, so then 3 points. Now 4-3, and then look at this, 1 down. Now, as you can see, that 1 down reflects this momentum right here, right? We're actually negative now compared to earlier. So that 30-minute push has been starting to break away downward. It's all being supported. There's nothing really surprising here, meaning we've kind of hit that peak of this run, and it's time to start coming back down, just in time for the weekly close. What's up?
My class time is over already, go.
Alright guys, this is actually it. We have 1 minute left till the most, inshallah, the most exciting week. I can't even, like, things may just actually accumulate to this point. Yeah, right? I know for a lot of people that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, how is it going to happen? Like, falling, blah, blah, blah. But this is it, genuinely it. And do you know how you know it's it? It's when sentiment reaches a new low. When people are afraid, that's when you know it's it. So the weekly just closed. This is the start of the new week here. Let's have a look at how things are developing. Mainly, let's jump all the way to the weekly over here. So that's our main thing, right? This is what we really care about. So we want to see. So first I gotta zoom out like no tomorrow because we're on the minute. So zoom that out. And out. There we go. I don't know if we need to do that much. Okay. So first off, welcome to the new week. It's at once, you can barely see it even here. Let's actually zoom in so we can see that candle a little better. So there it is. Obviously, it isn't either in either direction right now. I mean, that's to be expected, right? The week the minute just started on this. Why can't I see this? I want to see how there it is. I want to see how the MACD is progressing on it as well. Okay, so we have both the things we want to see. Now look at where we currently are. We are actually, so mind you, this wedge is a little off because it's more aligned with the daily as well as the 8-hour versus the weekly, because the weekly is harder to make a wedge with. But with that being said, we are finally within this range, meaning this is the final week at most, and we'll look at the day. We'll look at the day in terms of how many more days are left. I'm gonna assume around 6 days are left. So that being said, we can see here for the final week, MACD went from 484, so that was literally 1 minute ago, to currently 457. So if you look there, this 484, okay. So roughly the positive momentum is somewhat there. It's not a very strong positive momentum, but it's actually kind of regaining, which is really good to see. So that means the weekly is kind of setting us up to see a potential movement upward, which is nice because as you can see, the wedge is actually a lot lower than you think. Here, let's just jump over to the daily so I can show you what I'm talking about here. So over here, this is the daily. And we can see on the daily, let's just zoom in to show you the MACD as well. Oh, also, let's get our scale. So here is our scale. We have everything we need. So let's have a quick look. So over here, this is the scale. And we can see if we keep, so mind you, this is now, of course, the current day. So if we keep to this current pricing, yeah, so the price that it is right now, then we will hit this upper wedge, which is at 16330 in 2 days' time. So if no change, if nothing else were to happen, we would hit this upper wedge in 2 days. Is that likely? No, not in the least bit. Why? Well, have a look at what's progressing down here. So for one thing, the negative momentum is still present, right? So we can see on the daily here, it was at 78. So that was 2 days ago. Then about 2 minutes ago, it was at 95. It's about an increase of 17 points. And then here we're at 99. That's exciting. So I'm actually just watching this with you guys, but to see 99 means that daily is getting ready to flip. And it's not going to flip to, well, you might see a bit of a flip. Let's just have a look at our 8-hour really quickly. But guys, we may actually hit this upper wedge sooner than we think. Whether that's a good or bad thing, it's yet to be seen, right? Because this upper wedge, if we don't have enough momentum, and I've been talking about this a lot lately, if we don't have enough momentum, we're not going to break it. And I don't think we're going to have the momentum. In fact, I think what's likely to happen, and it's not to say anything negative about it, it's just what may actually occur. What's likely to happen is this wedge here, this candle here, may actually in the next day or so move upward. Now, if it does move upward, say it goes to 166, or say it goes to 164, or even right now at 168, at any of these points, it's going to hit that upper wedge, and all the momentum is going to get absorbed. And that's likely the main outcome. It's going to get absorbed, and when it comes back down, because we need to. We don't have the momentum we need to break through just yet. So instead, likely what we're looking to happen is, let's bring back our scale here. So from here, let's just follow this wedge, right? So over here, we can kind of see it. This is at 158. So in 4 days, it's at 158. In 5 days, it's going to be at 156 or so, 155. And then in 6 days, it'll be at 154. And finally, to close off, at the end of the 6th day, so in about exactly 6 days from now, 15265. So what this tells us is we have 6 days to first lose our momentum. We want to lose this. So let's lock this in here. So first off, you know how you can see here we're starting to flip back positive? I don't think this is what we want to see. In fact, I think in actuality, we want to go further negative. So likely what may happen in the next couple of days is we may hit this wedge and come down. Let's get rid of that, down into this support line or this support line. Whichever we hit, it's going to bounce us really hard up and flip every indicator positive. Just to show the likelihood of that, let's look over at some more candles here. So let's look at the 8 hour here really quickly. And we can see on the 8 hour, sorry, 1 second. Okay. So we can see here on the 8 hour what's happening, right? Oh, did not mean to do that. Okay. I hope that adjusted things because I do not want to go through the hassle again. Okay, yeah, so here it is at this point. So this is the 8 hour. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Not quite that much, but so now let's grab our scale once more. So this is on the 8 hours, so it's going to give us a better idea. So the 8 hour from where we currently are is going to hit the upper wedge if the price stays exactly the same in 5 bars. So that is in exactly 56 hours. So we have a minimum of 56 hours. Now, there's a likelihood, now that I'm looking at it more and more, the positive momentum is likely looking to hit this wall and come down. Why? Because look over here. The MACD is flipping positive and it's starting to flip strongly positive. So it was at 87 points 16 hours ago. It was at 78 points 80 hours ago. So that's a difference of 9 points. And it's currently at 67. So that's an 11-point difference. So if we saw an increase, so over here we saw this increase of about 2.3%. An increase right now of that amount would actually put us there? So it's at 166. It would, yeah, guys, can you believe that? So there's a possibility. There's actually a possibility where we may definitely hit this upper wedge in the next 2 candles. And when we do, inshallah, we're going to come down. And I need nobody to panic. I understand these are scary times, but I need you not to panic. You can't lose hope right now because this is it. We're at the end game now. You see that Bollinger Band? You see the upper band of resistance? You don't even see it anymore. They're outside of our plane of existence. We are playing at the lower and we're hoping to break through. So don't give up. It's coming up really, really soon. I'll probably update maybe again at 3 a.m. or whenever I do, but I think this is really important. So thanks for listening. I'll see you guys soon.